Tyron, we know you got an important fight coming up, but let's go back one fight for a second here. You had a big fight against Jockey. Not only did you win, but you looked impressive. How did it feel for you to come off with a win like that against, such a big step up?
I was ecstatic. I was really happy with my performance. There were some little things that I needed to tweak after that fight, but obviously I was really happy for that fight. I was real emotional after that fight, being in front of my fans, people that love me, people that like to see me fight, and I felt a lot of love coming from the Mexican fans, man. It was awesome.
Talking about that, it was in Mexico City. UFC's trying to bring MMA to Mexico City, to Mexico, Latin America in general. How was the crowd? How did you feel fighting there? What did you make of the atmosphere on that night?
Oh man, the people are so passionate. They're so passionate. They're so hungry to learn more. They're so hungry for more MMA in Mexico and Latin America, and they're just hungry, real passionate people, man. And it was cool to see. It was cool to get that kind of support.
We actually follow boxing and MMA on our site. There's a lot of boxing, soccer fans that are starting to take a look at MMA. What do you say to those fans that are kind of in the fence of whether they like UFC or not? Why should they watch UFC along with the other sports that they already watch?
Right. Yeah. UFC has this. Ultimate Fighting has this persona, I guess, that people put on it as a bar fight or stuff like that, but it really isn't. If you really go and look at the top fighters, I mean, some of them are great boxers, some of them are great athletes, and there's a lot of technique involved. These people have been training for years and have sacrificed most of their lives to be where they're at. So I think everybody should watch the UFC, man. There's these people dedicate their whole lives, put their whole heart into this.
Obviously, as Latinos who watch a lot of boxing, did you follow boxing, and how did you get into MMA? What brought you to the sport?
I like to watch a little bit of boxing. I don't follow it, like to a T, but I do watch the big fights, the Pacquiao fights, the Bradley fights, the Marquez fights.
How did you get started in the sport?
The way that I got started, I wrestled for a long time. So I wrestled in middle school, high school, and then wrestled in college for a little bit, and had buddies that went on to fight in the UFC eventually when I was barely coming up. And so when I was coming up, I was looking at these guys. My buddies, Fernando Escudero, winning the Ultimate Fighter. I saw my training partner, Hector Garcia, making his UFC debut, and I was 17, 18 years old at the time, and I was like, well, I guess that's what I want to do, I want to do that. I want to do that in the future, and that's kind of how I got involved in it from a real young age. I started training with these guys, and that's how I got involved.
One of the things that strikes out about you is how well-rounded you are. You obviously have the wrestling background. You took down Jake Hendricks, who's hard to take down, but then you also have a good striking attack. How did you become so well-rounded? How did you expand your game to be the fighter that you are right now?
Well, like I said, I've been training since I was really young. So these techniques, these styles, all this takes years to develop, and even more to be able to use it in an actual fight. But I just been involved in the game since I was really young. People don't really understand how young I was.
How old were
I was 16. 16, started training at 16, but with really high level guys. Okay. And that's how I think I've been able to be successful, because I've been training with really high level elite guys since I was 16 years old.
Okay. So now you got another important fight, co-main event, a big event like this one. Talk to us a little bit about Tyron Woodley from your point of view. What are some of his strengths? What are some of the things you're going to be looking out for in the fight?
The main thing is his power, man. I mean, he's got a big right hand that knocks and puts people away, and so that's the main thing that I'm looking out for. Obviously, his wrestling is great, his jiu-jitsu is good, and his kicks are good. So I'm looking out for everything. I've prepared for everything. Wherever the fight goes, I'm ready.
Is this a case where you just kind of have to fill it out in the first round and see where you feel more comfortable, whether you go for the takedown, whether you go for the strike, or is there a game plan already in mind?
There's not a specific game plan, no. I'm just going to go in there and do what I do. I can't focus on what he's going to do. I'm going to focus on what I'm going to do and implement my game plan and do whatever I want. Honestly, I feel I can take him down. I feel I can outbox him, and yeah.
Win over Tyron will put you pretty close to the top there.
Sir.
How far away do you think you are from the title shot now if you get this win on Saturday?
I'm not sure. Maybe 1 or 2 wins away. You know, who knows?
You think with another fight, another winner or top guy, you might be the favorite if you fight again? Because it seems like you're always the underdog, but
yeah,
you keep putting people away.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know when that's gonna stop, but you know, keep proving people wrong, and that's the way I like it, man. I like being the underdog now. I've learned to embrace that role, and it's actually really fun for me.
Lawler and Robbie, obviously, I had a great fight. I'm sure you watched it. What did you think of that fight? What did you think of the 2 fights that they've had?
Robbie and
Hendricks.
And Hendricks? That last fight was a little weird. I'd have to say that last fight was a little weird. They both, I don't know, they both were trying not to lose, I would say, you know, and, you know, I think Robbie deserves to be the champion, sure.
Yeah. Do you think they're just guys that, based on their style, they're just always going to make those kind of close type fights that have people saying one guy won over the other? I mean, because they've had 2 and it seems like they've both been very, very close.
Yeah, I mean, styles makes fights, you know, and their styles are really similar almost. And you know, if their wrestling cancels, then you know, their wrestling cancels each other's out, and you know, they make it a stand-up war, or you know, I don't know. It was just a weird fight for me, I think.
Okay. Lastly, like I mentioned, we have a lot of boxing, MMA fight fans, Spanish and English, that will be watching this. What message do you have for your Latino fans that will be watching this fight?
My Latino fans, I love my Latino fans. I love my Mexican fans, man. Shout out to everybody watching me fight, watching this fight, and supporting me and supporting what we do, man.